Big data is a really maligned term. So yeah, we've been using data and large quantities of it for many, many years. What's really changed is that the amount of data, the speed of the data that's coming in, the variety of the data is really hard for conventional software packages and databases to deal with. So we're having to use new tools now to deal with that. I think what's really important for us is that we've got structured data where we're managing that with BIM or better information management. It's the unstructured data, the uncontrolled data that we really need to be thinking hard about how to deal with it. Extracting value from the big data is key. I think where you need to start is what's the question that you're seeking an answer to. It's ironic really because there's a lot of emphasis on being clear on what is the question, but I think also we need to remain curious about what we may see. So patterns which are actually emerging which we wouldn't expect is really important. It's quite a science in itself, so I would say that it's not trivial. We need to make sure that we've got the right data scientists, the right data engineers to help us crack that. We need to change our relationship with data. So we've been very casual, very haphazard with our data. Now what we need to do is to be managing it consciously, thinking about how we want to use that data, who's going to use that data, and making sure that we deliver it in that way. One of our big concerns is around security as well. So being able to trust the data actually impacts our transparency and our trusting relationships as well. If we introduce poor data into that, then actually we lose the speed of trust, which is a great principle by Steve Covey. If you lose trust, collaborative relationships break down and it will really impact the way that we do our business. We need to make sure that our data is accurate, it's consistent, it's reliable. Where we find that there's problems and trust breaks down is where data is bluntly wrong. That very quickly then introduces suspicion. It causes problems with our contracts. It really often is the heart of the problems with delivery of our projects. So we've got standards in place, both as Atkins as a company, but also within the UK. And those standards are actually being lifted to international, so I'm convener of ISO 19650. So there isn't an excuse. The standards are there. We can therefore deliver reliable and consistent data. There are a number of challenges that organisations are having to face with leveraging big data effectively. The first one is skills, getting the right people in place who can really understand the challenges around big data and getting the intelligence out of big data that they need. So what we're needing to look at are the data scientists, the data engineers, very possibly coming from outside of our own industry. The other one is the technology, is that big data needs different technologies, but also absolutely is around the power of the systems that you have in place, being able to handle the huge variety of data, very often in real time, is a challenge, and making sure that actually we can store that data securely. So quite a number of challenges that big data are posing, which are very different and the industry needs to adapt to.